Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Fins Tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Fins Tailgate's where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Fins Tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Fins Tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL-wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Fins Tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait. It's your fate, this is the Fins Tailgate. Now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.
What is happening, Dolphin fans, and welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate with your host, El Capitan. Tonight, on the tailgate party that never seems to stop. Is the marriage over? Is it the beginning of the end? Who gets the kids in the divorce? Who gets the house? Who gets the car? Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa are obviously on the rocks. We're going to get into it. Mike McDaniel spoke yesterday and continues to take shots at Tua. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a little bit of the subliminals. El Capitan had a couple of tweets go viral Sunday. So I'll point that out, just so you know, your boy out here shaking and moving, making moves in the community. The Tua sexuals and the Dolphins insiders and, the gatekeepers of the Miami Dolphins community hate it when El Capitan and us here at the Fins Tailgate make waves. So I'll continue to do what I do. Y'all continue to do what you do and hit the like button. I got my face here. There we go. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Join the membership. Share the channel. Make friends. Because here at the Fins Tailgate, we are Dolphin fans. We're not two in ears. We're not here to sell you something. We're here to call this team out when it does good, to cheer them on. Call this team out when they do bad, to cheer on when they do good. And tell you what's really going on. Because I'm sorry, there's the way in which this team moves. A lot of people want to argue semantics with you about this team. And they're not wrong, right? On the face of what their argument is, what their perception is. A lot of times they're correct in the sense that they're looking at the situation at hand. But they don't have any idea how we got here or any idea why we're here. They just know that, oh, that's a problem or that's good. They don't know how this team or this organization works. Not like we do here at the Fins Tailgate. Not like, how Mike McDaniel works, why Mike McDaniel's doing the things he's doing. Chris Greer, how, people want to fire Chris Greer, but did Chris Greer fail at his job? Now you'd be like, oh, he picked the wrong quarterback. Sure. Oh, he did, he extended it. All these things, and you're not wrong. But Chris Greer don't work for the fans. He works for Stephen Ross. And I'll tell you this, Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer, as Miami Dolphin employees, they've done their job. And when we're talking about Mike McDaniel and whether or not he'll get fired, I'm sticking to the statement I started the season off with in the offseason. Mike McDaniel gets fired. He could lose as many games as he wants, but he only gets fired if there's a mutiny on his hands, if the team turns on him, if the coaching staff turns on him. That's what happens. Look back to Adam Gase, who, towards the end, we saw what happened. Buried his head into his tablet, was completely outside of his own coaching staff, outside of the players, disconnected in such a way. And he had a mutiny on his hands. And they quit on him on the field and in the locker room. And everybody had to talk about it and know it. That has yet to happen to Mike McDaniel. Now, could it? Sure. And when it does, I'll know it right off rip. Like, you see that? They quit on him. It's over. Shout out to El Benito. Salute, El Benito from El Capitan. Hit the like button, everybody. Shout out to everybody in chat. John Featherland in here telling everyone to hit the like button. Ms. Relentless, member and family member. The homie Benito with the Donny. Salute to the homie, member of the program. Jersey Dolphins. What's up, Jersey? Salute. The Ghost one. What's going on, Ghost? Flava J, another member up in the crib. Salute to you. Jamie, I see you. Michael K. Bill, what's going on, Bill? Salute. G2. Hashtag free McDrip. IT respect. Saying Thomas, what's up, brother? Salute, man. Batman Pops. Yo, Batman Pops sliding through the crib as well. Salute. Spencer, what's going on, Spencer? What's going on, buddy? Mr. Polk, member and family member. Salute to you, Mr. Polk. Welcome to join the Tailgate Army and become a member, y'all. Because, listen, the Tailgate Army is arising. Join the Tailgate Army because we're going to mobilize. Oh, look at the cat drug in. Oh, man, I ain't seen Eminem Dolphin in a hot minute. I ain't seen him in a hot minute. I can't even believe it. Look at this boy. Hit the like button, Eminem. So, I got a couple things we're going to show. I'm going to bring up Ali. He's hanging in the back. What up, Ali?
What up? Everyone hit the like button. EM, I see you. Finally came out of your cave. I know it's the first night of the NBA. The Spurs are still trash no matter how many first-round picks they have. I just want to point that out. Lakers all day. Make sure the Purple Hearts get thrown up. Hit the like button. I got a lot to say. I'm addressing the soft-ass fans that are out there. That's what I want to address right now.
Well, before you address, I want to say hey to Tonk who pulled up. What's up, Tonk?
What's up? Let's tear this motherfucker up.
All right. Okay, I like it. Go ahead, Ali.
I'm going to start talking about it. So you talked about viral tweets that go out from TFTG, right? Mm-hmm. Well, mine don't go viral as much as yours. You're infamously known for that. And I don't tweet as much as you do, so that's probably why. Yeah. But when mine kind of gets some traction, it gets kind of heated. It's kind of spicy going on right here. I'm getting threats in my DMs. I'm getting a lot of people that hated on the fact that I put out a way too early mock draft. And let me actually share my way too early.
Ali, this is all news to me, buddy. I want to see all about this. I like this.
I'm not gonna put out everything because some people I reported out and I deleted some shit already, but that's okay. I'm gonna put out the stuff that I still think is funny as shit. So let me bring this up, right? And let me bring up the tweets.
Yeah, by the way, if you try to threaten anybody over shit that's said on the internet, you're the world's biggest pussy.
You are
again. Listen, I've had people threaten me tons of times. I had a comedian, like a comedian who's trying to be famous.
Yeah,
big guy, dude's gigantic, and he's like, "Oh, you coming to the Atlanta game?" Because I was talking shit about Tua. He's too sexual. He says that I'm a wimp. He's asking if I'm going to the Atlanta game, and he said he'll fight me. I'm like, sure. He goes, we'll box. It was he kind of got jokingly about it. We'll box and we'll do it live. Whatever, dude. I'm not going to the Atlanta game, but you want to meet up for a meetup?
He's just upset because his quarterback sucks.
All right, so look at this way too early draft. I just put this out. I went up to PFF. I decided to dick around, right, just to kind of see what was what. And way too early mock draft. It had us as the number 2 overall pick. I took Mendoza. Wasn't my fault that the Jets didn't take Mendoza. They took someone else, right?
Okay.
Comes around 2. I was like, what else do we need? We got a new quarterback. You know, Tyreek's probably not going to be here. Give me the best wide receiver that I can find. Carnell Tate. I decided, what else do we need? Well, the other people, the other pundits, we never build or invest in this offensive line, though we have a Patrick Paul that's playing lights out every game. Just going to point that out. Let's go and get the next best tackle we can find in the 3rd round, right? And then I was like, you know what? I kind of think this defense needs a refresher. Let's find whatever BPA and defense I could find. Happened to be a linebacker, Arvell Reese, right? Now, granted, this is a way too early mock draft, and PFF probably hasn't even taken the consensus of where the college standings are right now and how these players are performing. But I get a lot of comments. I'm getting people.
Well, real quick, before we get to the comments, shout out to Ron, dude. Fucking Ron pulling up, boys. Look at this. Fucking Ron. I ain't seen Ron in a minute.
Is that Ron?
Yes, Ron.
Shit. Another person that pulled up, I saw, and we know him from the Spaces. Is that Spencer from the Space?
Yep, that's fucking that's the OG Spencer right there.
Everybody's coming out of the woodwork tonight. Holy crap!
Yeah, also, B McD pointed out something I was laughing at. I just find the Ohio bias, which fine. Look,
if you want to hate, people hate when you're winning, bro. That's
again, the Ohio wide receiver in the 2nd round, I love that. Okay.
Just going to say, and to be honest, I wasn't even looking, and I've had to make this announcement like 20 times, which is irritating me now at this point. I didn't take these players because of who they were. Because I didn't really know who the tackle was from Iowa or whatever. I was really drafting positions, right?
Sure, I get you. It's just hard not to see that Buckeye. You know what I'm saying?
I get you. Yeah, I know who they are, right?
Hey, real quick, Cheetah in the building saying you need to stop doing that and leave it to the expert scouting. A great and powerful reason. Yeah, that's an expert scout. This guy knows football. He breaks down to his film and tells you why he's an incredibly great.
His picture definitely is believable.
First of all, Reason has a great show over there. He does his work, whatever. I'm trying to learn about football too. Just because he does scouting doesn't mean that I can't learn to do it too. I'm not going to hate on the guy for whatever.
I've known you for a while now, and you pay a shit ton of attention to football. You go to the games, you go to the practices, you're down there early as fuck. You know just as much.
I'm telling you right now, as far as it comes to college football and knowing what the fuck's going on, there's a finite amount of people I reach out to because I don't watch all college football. I do watch a lot. I've been watching more now these last few years than ever. But Ali and my brother-in-law are 1A and 1B who I reach out to when I need to check on things about college football. It ain't fucking Reason. I promise you that. That's not. He is not the one I'm going to find out shit about fucking football.
I'm not hating on he does, but I actually have.
I'll hate on him for you.
It's a small channel. I'm building a college football channel. Check us out at 4th and 10U. It's ever growing. But anyways, that being said, let's get back to the business here. So I'm getting comments like, no way in hell this happens. You're a fucktard, or you're like, this guy's trying to point out, leave it to Reason. He knows what the fuck he's talking about, right? All I'm doing is trying to see what's what, and I draft positions based on that were available. Do you think I forcefully made it to look this way? No.
Yes.
The AI is picking everybody else. How is that my fault? This was the BPA at the time. So that being said, I started looking at some of the comments, and this one was really interesting. Talk about the soft ass Jets fans that are around here. He belongs to me. That's some gay ass shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, you know who that is?
I don't care who that is, regardless.
All right, I'll leave it. I'll leave it for fun because you can have a conversation with him later. When we play the Jets later, I'm gonna have the homie from Jets Cast up.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I just think it's funny. And the reason I think it's funny, and he might be a great person, don't get me wrong, but it's funny because I was in a space earlier today where Jets came in, and this is what they're saying. This is how they're talking almost verbatim, El Cap. He belongs to me.
You know listen, what I mean? First of all, Ali, I got to be honest. As badly as the Jets want Mendoza, Jets fans, makes me not want Mendoza at all.
You're kind of right. I
gotta be honest. I watched Mendoza the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and I gotta be honest. He's good. I don't see NFL game-changing quarterback good out of him. I don't see it. I don't see what everyone's talking about. I see a guy who's got some wheels, guy who's got some arm, he plays with heart. I don't see the size and strength and speed profile that translates to the next level. He tries a lot of the shit he's doing now in college. He is getting laid the fuck out in the middle of the field by a linebacker or safety. Laid out.
I get what you're saying. For me, it's like this quarterback class is kind of weak, to be honest.
Got to be honest. Not really feeling it.
And I'm just going to be straight up. And people are saying, well, you're just saying that because you're jealous that they have the number 1 overall pick. Well, the season ain't over. And there was news that came out today, El Cap. The news that came out today is that the Jets are getting closer to naming Tyrod Taylor their starter.
Tyrod going to win you a couple games, boy.
Oops, you guys might be winning some games. So no, I ain't jealous, first of all. And second of all, a lot of people say that you're more likely to hit on the 2nd overall pick than you are on the 1st overall pick. I've heard people say that. So, it depends on how you look at it. But this was just one comment that was very surprising, very weird. In addition, there was some others that basically said that I was a fool. I'm not even going to get into all of them. What I am going to say is this. If I have to continuously make announcements that I was not really looking at these players specifically, I was looking at positions and the position we could draft and taking BPA and how it would work out and how we can improve our team. And the fact that you're crying, that's not going to happen. You're retarded. I'm sorry. You're not. The moment you opened your mouth, you should have just shut your mouth and not say anything. That's really what you should have done. And the people that threaten me or call me fucking names in my DMs, you're fucking stupid.
Somebody in your DMs.
That's super chump behavior. It's fucking chump.
It is freaking retarded, some of the people around here. And you know what? And I saw Michael K say that El Cap needs to change his background because it looks like he's in a public shitter. Well, at least our team doesn't play in a public shitter like the Buffalo Bills.
Michael K, get your ass back over to the fish fry.
But the reality is El Cap is that there's some people out there that are crying really bad. They are like crying soft. It doesn't matter if it's Mendoza. It doesn't matter if it's Sellers, whoever it is. They got some shit to say and trying to say that we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, let alone a lot of things that we said actually happen around here. That's all I wanted to point out. And you know what? I just want to say is that whatever happens, whatever we do, but you don't have to be soft about it. I mean, goddamn. Grab some tissues. We should get HB to make some TFTG tissues. And we should hand them out to people.
Yeah.
Just saying.
What's up, Mr. Paul?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? El Cap, Ali,
What's going on?
But
and
seriously though,
my
Ali,
brother
like for
Tony.
people to threaten you, like what are you even actually doing that would offend somebody so much? Like I don't even understand how people are
Bro.
getting so mad at you. Like what
Bro,
the fuck?
I can tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm willing to bet it's the Tua sexuals and that group that's trying to hold on to a thread that thinks
But-
that Tua's our guy. How dare you replace him with Mendoza?
But like,
Oh my
but
God.
like you're not even.
I want to cry. That's what they're doing. Because I'll tell you why. Earlier in the offseason, when we got Zach Wilson, right? Granted, some people weren't happy about it. I wasn't happy about it originally. And what ended up happening? There was a video of him working out, putting the work out in the gym. And all I did was shared the video and quoted, "I wonder what Tua's doing right now."
I remember
all
that.
said. And oh my God, they came
I
out
remember
with
that.
what? It's none of your fucking business. You're just doing this for clickbait. Oh, you're a fucktard. You know what? Or you're
Well,
or
obviously it worked.
You're a dickwad. You know what I mean? You there's all this shit that people come at you for. It is freaking ridiculous. I didn't know that we had so many crybabies in this community.
I know it's
What
crazy.
happened to
Like
having some thick skin? What happened to to being tough and grit? I thought Miami was supposed to be a tough town, not a soft ass town. Just saying.
Nope.
they must live above I-5.
I don't even think they're from the 305. They're probably from Orlando or someplace like that.
What's the one that goes to Orlando from Tampa? I-4. Is that I?
Or I-4?
That's I-75.
Yeah.
No, I-4.
No, that's I-75
I-4.
is the West Coast. It goes from like
I-4 is the one
Naples
that
up.
goes to Orlando.
I-4 goes from Daytona to Tampa and passes through.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, that's all I wanted to get off my chest because I'm kind of like.
I mean, stand on business, Ali. Listen,
harder than these softies. That's all I'm gonna say.
it's open season on Tua sexuals. They can run, they can hide, but they can't walk back. How hard y'all fought for your beloved Tua. And you know what's crazy? Tua's going to be on a team somewhere 3 years from now, 4 years from now, and he's going to have a resurgence game. It's going to throw for 4 touchdowns and 300 plus yards. And they're all going to go, see, I was right. I was right about
one
Tua.
last thing, because I'm going to make this guy famous.
That's what they're gonna do.
I want to make this guy famous real quick. For the fucktard who commented in my way too early mock draft, telling me that there's Cornell Tate, and I'm going to emphasize this. He called him Cornell Tate. He didn't even spell it right. That is
Cornhole Tate.
Yeah, I was like, first of all, fucktard, learn how to fucking spell if you're going to dispute my mock draft, at least. If you're going to call me stupid because he called me stupid. All right, stupid. Well, you need to learn how to fucking spell. It's Cornell Tate, not Cornell Tate. God damn.
Jamaican from Zion. I don't think I have Reason shook, to be honest. I think Reason is shaken. He can't respond because what's he going to respond to? His response is like, I got a bigger YouTube channel. I've been grinding forever.
You know what? The fucking team, man. This team sucks so bad that it's got us all fighting amongst each other.
Nah, fuck all that, Tonk. That the team that we fought more when Tua was doing good because these people thought he was something he wasn't. And again, Jamaican from Zion, he ain't gonna respond.
But
because
it's shit
why
like
should
this.
He shouldn't respond because he's waiting to respond from a point of power.
Responds.
Yeah, he's gonna respond from if Tua comes at one point and lights it up for fucking anything, he'll come and respond and stand back on all the bullshit he said. Because it's all been damage control from all these people all year this year. They've been walking back. They've been looking to blame McDaniel, looking to blame Greer, looking to blame Ross, looking to blame Tyreek, looking to blame anyone and everyone because they don't want to say that they were wrong. I wish I was saying I was wrong because Tua was balling out right now and leading us in the AFC
You would
East.
love to say
I
you're
would
wrong.
be happy to say I'm wrong. I would be happy to. And I would stand there and be like, I guess y'all know something I don't. But I really thought, wow, these fucking dorks that are presenting me with fucking math equations to tell me about football know more about the game than what my eyes can tell me when I watch it and having played it for 10 years. So to me, maybe I'm over the hill. That's what I could have. That's where I could have been. But as I stand corrected, no, it's the game I know and love. You might change what the fucking route trees called. You might change what defensive alignments are called. You might change the name of all this shit. But it's fucking football, baby. That's all. Guys have gotten bigger, stronger, and faster. But you know what? They're more injured. So go ahead.
But Cap, there's levels to this, as they like.
Oh yeah, there's levels. There's levels to,
and then on top of it, if you come at me with a debate and your argument is air yards, you've already lost. I'm sorry. That's the one stat I hate more than anything is air yards. I am so sick and tired of hearing about air yards. Go ahead.
I've never even heard of air yards.
Don't even ask. Don't even ask. It's stupid.
Yup. What Yup says Reason is a fan of 30 different teams from 30 different states. First of all,
there's only 32 teams, so
really?
I thought TD had that on lockdown. What happened?
I don't know. Hit the like button, everybody. We've got, I don't know, 150 watching on all platforms. If you guys are watching on X, Twitch, Twitter, Story by the Campfire, CB Radio, Message in a Bottle, banner plane flying by, however you're enjoying the Finn's Tailgate program. Nextel Chirp, bathroom writing in a portalet, however you're enjoying the Finn's Tailgate. Make sure you guys are coming over here to YouTube and subscribing over here and hit the like button, everybody. And also join the membership, become part of the Tailgate Army, because that's what we're building here, the Tailgate Army. And one day we will find ourselves with the numbers to just straight mow over the rest of these fools. That's what we're looking for. Because if we want to build back this team better, we're going to need people like y'all, people like this program to make it happen. Hit the like button, everybody. Shout out to everybody in chat. I see Ms. Relentless in here. What's up, Ms. Relentless? Salute. Cap for life. JC, creepy ass walking in here. Fuck. CCRR, what's going on? Nightmare up in here. Yup, in here. Night Wolf, the homie. Bihana, salute. I think I got G2.
Shout out to Lewis.
Who? No, I'm just playing.
Lewis,
what up,
the
Lou?
guy across next door, man. Our
Who?
family member.
Who?
You know who I meant.
Hit the like button, everybody. So let's get a little bit into this. All right. Well, you know what? Before we get all the way, I had this tweet about Tua that kind of went a little viral. It didn't just go like super amount of numbers, like didn't get into the millions or over 500,000, but it got picked up by a lot of the big guys that do things on X that do it. So again, and I'll show you exactly what video it was that went viral here. It was, excuse me. It was this one here. So this one was this video of Tua. A couple other people picked it up as well. ML Football picked it up. And I think it was JPA Football picked it up too. Oh, Dove Kiveman or whatever the fuck his name is. But yeah, this is the video. I think my views on it got to like, I don't know, 250,000 views on it. But this is the video that went viral. And he puts, yikes, Dolphins star quarterback has officially lost it in his post-game press conference, making absolutely zero sense. It's clearly time for Miami to move on from him. Here's the clip.
Yeah, definitely not happy, not proud of where I'm at with my play, with how I've gone about things this year. I know I got to be a lot better, and I've been better for the Miami Dolphins years past, but this isn't years past. This is this year, right? And just trying to maneuver everything and trying to build a collection of guys to kind of bring along with me, and I got to be able to multitask if that makes sense. Be able to do that, and while doing that, kind of continue to get the whatever it was last year and the years prior for myself to get going again and get in that flow. Thank you.
The fuck? The fuck did he say, dude?
Brian Greer.
Why
is he talking this way?
He's been, he was saying basically, I was good in the past, but this isn't years past. I'm trying to take a collection of guys with me and multitasking and trying to be good. It's just too hard. Yeah, he lost it, bro. You really fucking lost it.
How can someone defend this shit? How can somebody honestly defend this shit? It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy.
He started off good though, Tonk. He started off taking accountability. I need to play better. He started off good, and then he was just like, "Yeah, that's too much. I got."
Yeah, that's exactly right. He was like, "Wait a second, it's not all me."
He like slammed the brakes. If you watched how he transitioned into the next thing, it was like, "Damn." Look. This is where I'm at. Tua Tagovailoa, he may have been a good quarterback in college. He may have. But in the NFL, there's a lot more to the task than what you see in college. In college, your coaches, your assistant coaches, it may have a program and stuff that help you do some of that team building stuff a lot easier than what it is in the NFL. In the NFL, you have to, there's a lot of people with different thoughts, and you got to find that common denominator and bring everybody together. He doesn't know how to do that. He's trying to rely on other people to do it for him, as it was done in college. So that's essentially what I will say is, like, he doesn't have the coach that does the team building exercises. He was
taking shots at the coach in that presser, Ali. Let's be real.
He was. Yeah, he definitely does. But I'm talking about
Ms. Relentless.
What he said. Good.
She says the video of McDaniel giving Ewers the cold shoulder was so disrespectful to the fullest. What are you talking about, Ms. Relentless? What can you elaborate on that? I don't know what you're talking about. Am I missing something? Is it something you could tag me in on X? Because I'll pull it up right now. I don't give a damn. While I get back from Miss Relentless, listen in, because
Mike McDaniel said it. They really need to figure out who they are.
After the debacle of the game and everything else that happened, the boo birds of the community, meaning not the community, but like everything. I mean, this is prior to the game, about Tua apologizing. So just listen to this real quick, because there's kind of a story being told here. So listen in. This is Teddy Bruschi talking.
That's a joke. That's my reaction. It's a joke. I don't know. I mean, Tua, if that's true, you were doing absolutely what was best for the team. Because I feel like he's not getting a good example of what leadership is. Okay, Tua comes from Alabama, right? I mean, he had Nick Saban there leading, probably let Nick do a lot of it. So he comes to the National Football League and probably still needed to learn how to be a leader. And I just don't think Mike McDaniel is the best example of it. Okay, in terms of what he said, having Tua go up there and apologize, no, you double down on it. If that was true, and you got players not showing up to team-only meetings and you feel like you need to say it publicly, that is leadership. Okay, then what I would have done is the next day, then I say it to those players' faces. If I haven't done it before, I'm going to say it again, because this is what's happening, okay? It's all messed.
The problem, Teddy, is that Tua should, and I wanted him to do what he's talking about. Problem is he doesn't back it up on the field, and he knows he can't. Here's the thing, Teddy Bruschi, this is why I wanted to play this, is missing here. He would do all that because on the field he could back it up. Tua can't go on the field and back it up with his play. He knows he needs, out of his own mouth, from the press conference happens after the game, a collection of guys. He needs people to collectively help him look good, essentially. And he knows that that's why he had to come back and walk back. And that was something that I wanted to touch base on. That's why I played that before we got going. So then here's where it all starts falling apart. Now the mainstream media is all over him. This is this was on Good Morning Football yesterday. Rappaport in here talking. Listen in.
Mike McDaniel said it. They really need to figure out who they are and really find out what they are made of. The problem is the record's rough and the spotlight is very firmly on the Miami Dolphins right now. And there's been several reasons why. First of all, some high-profile losses can put a coach, put a team into crosshairs. Plus, last week we had the controversy with starting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa calling out some of his teammates for late arrivals to players-only film sessions or something like that, and then going back, walking back his comments, kind of more firmly put eyeballs on the Miami Dolphins, making sure everyone took notice of who they are, how they play, and how they respond. And then they come out and have one of the worst losses of the season to one of the NFL's worst teams. And my understanding, early on in the season for the Dolphins and for Mike McDaniel, is owner Stephen Ross likes him and believes in him, has extended him in the past, and wants to go forward with Mike McDaniel. The only thing that would change it is if, one, fans suddenly stop showing up to the stadium, which can happen for a really bad team in a lost season, or two, if the players stop playing for him. And again, confirming what I keep telling y'all. What's up, X Factor? I've got that too. Don't worry about it, X Factor. I got that loaded up, ready to go. Hit the like button, everybody. Again, confirming what I've already said. And no, Mike McDaniel can only lose the team in two ways, which really I believe it to be one way. And that's a mutiny on his hands. They say the fans stopped showing up to the stadium. Well, listen, got to be honest. There was never a better year for Mike McDaniel for the Canes to be good and fans show up to Canes games like they have this year, and they have never done that before. And they did a little bit last year, but the way they are now. Now, if he has a mutiny out there and there's no fans showing up and stuff like that, that could happen. But I don't foresee that. The lemmings and the diehards and the cucks will continue to go to games, and then the other teams will buy cheaper tickets and they'll go to games. The season tickets are already sold. They already got their money. They're not losing any money. He could rebrand the product. It's the only thing he can't rebrand is someone where people quit on him. So let me continue on. Here's a little bit other things that were said. This was on I don't know. Let's see what show. I forget what show this is. Anyhow, just listen in.
You want to go down. It's bad any way you slice it, and he is the number one reason why. You cannot go out there and have 3 interceptions, 3 fumbles, even though they weren't as consequential, and say that you're not the main reason why this team is not good. You're getting paid way too much money to be this bad.
I'm pretty sure there's some beat writers in South Florida that will try to spit it and say that he's not the main reason.
What does he have on everyone?
Omar?
Omar Kelly. Couple of others in the building that are defending Tua. And it's, people think, as you heard them say, what do they have on him? It's not what they got on him. It's what is on the line for him. Fans don't show up to the stadium. They stop subscribing. They stop content creating. They stop tweeting. When they don't care at all, that's when you're dead. We're angry. Right now, anger is just as good as happiness as far as sales go. As far as fucking friction in the community goes. It's when anger is numb and you just I don't even give a shit.
You're getting the publicity, man. Doesn't matter if it's good, bad. It's free
that's
publicity.
it, baby. That's it, baby. That's it. Hit the like button, everybody. Let's continue on. This is Antonio Pierce talking about the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa. Again, the 2 weeks in a row now, Tua Tagovailoa is public enemy number 1 and being called out by everybody. Listen in.
It's ownership. It's accountability. And it always starts with the head coach. It's what can I do better? Everything is on you first. And I think that follows down to, and we talked about with Bill Cowher, right? He talked about ownership, GM, head coach, quarterback. That's where everything starts at, right? And if you're the head coach, it starts with you. And what is the leadership that you're bringing? And I don't know. I'm not in that locker room. Got a couple players there that played for me that I know. You hear certain things, but again, are they disgruntled? But when you see it on public display, and you're a captain, and you're the one that can't get them in the locker room or in the meetings, should it be mandatory? God damn it, you're the quarterback. You're the franchise guy. So why are we even talking about this? And if you're the head coach and we're having the season we have, listen, everything is longer. There's no going home early, guys. We're actually getting there earlier. We're staying later. We're doing more. We're talking about what can I do as an individual to help the team out instead of saying what that other person's not doing. And I think that's where it starts with accountability.
Oof. And look, Antonio Pierce cooked on that one. Again, talking about the part that I've been talking about with Tua and all of this stuff. You could see in the media, in that locker room, it's different. You ain't running and hide behind coach or the GM or the media or the microphone. You talking about me? You got to see me in the locker room. Where are you going to go? Now, okay, Tua, if you want to be Mr. Badass or want to be the leader, then lead, motherfucker. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting, Tua. Please lead us. What's up, Tony? I got the second half of that clip. I'm gonna put it on. So please tell us. Show us, lead us, but you can't. He needs a collection of guys. That's why he's walking back his comments. That's why, he's getting the response. His play on the field last Sunday proved nobody's following that shit. Nobody follows that. It ain't because Tua ain't big enough, strong enough, fast enough, or have a strong enough arm. They don't respect him because he has none of those things I just talked about. But now the boy ain't got no fucking heart either. Which, to me, it was always questionable about Tua's heart in this game. His motives seemed only about money and about fame and about being liked. Not about anything other than that. Everything that's been done has been about getting the money. And you saw what it looked like when he started getting the money. He's out there with his pop bitter belly and out on boats. Meanwhile, I'm watching the Super Bowl winning quarterback grinding, pushing up 500 pounds and leg fucking presses and all kinds of shit. It's nonsense. Listen to the other half, because this is what football players, this is the thing. This is the reason why Tua is going to be playing next week, because we're going to see it continue to fail, because what the Dolphins and the NFL is really showing y'all is that all you stat heads, all you fucking internet dorks, all you guys with your PFF grades and your QBRs and your nonsense, you're learning about how it really works. Because yes, there's inner political dynamics in offices, because this is a business. There is measurement tools, like when you use like Power BI or fucking Microsoft Word to measure your stats and where you're moving. All that shit is real. But on the field, with the grass and the smell of fucking grass and sweat and blood and fucking just high fucking testosterone and fucking bashing each other together, you gotta have something more. And when you're out here and I'm doing all what I'm doing, I'm killing, my body aches, I'm hurting. Then you're gonna talk like that. You best be able to walk like that.
Like seeing Coach show up right now.
Well, I'm trying to, because it's hard, because we're talking about guys getting fired. We're talking about losing it. And it's like, football's the ultimate team sport.
Yes.
It takes all of us.
I just think too, like, if you are a bona fide leader in a locker room, of course it's mandatory if I tell you we're sitting down a meeting.
If you say after practice, what's happening?
Correct.
Man.
You're in there.
Regardless.
Yes, you're going in.
I don't even have my tape off. I'm going straight in there.
What happens if you don't?
You're having a real conversation.
Like this. Like,
yes.
we got to get face to face. Like, what the hell is your problem?
Yeah,
we're not show up like it
yes.
gets real. And then it might have to get fisticuffs. It might have to get physical. Like,
okay.
Especially when you have
the door
like,
shut.
Like, close the door, turn the, cut the camera
Now
off.
you can't leave.
Go.
We won't let you guys get physical here, but I do appreciate seeing the emotions. I mean, this is what it's probably
real.
or what it needs
our job.
to be like in
They
that
need
locker
an adult
room.
in the room. They don't have one.
Come on. It's ownership.
Yeah, again, that's how football players be handling it. Y'all can say what you want and, whatever. These are athletes. These are competitors if they're playing at the highest of levels. And every now and again, a mathlete squeezes in there. Somebody who, had a good headwind and, perfect conditions to be successful with a lot of support. And yeah, they might have some good talent and some decent work ethic, but push come to shove, these guys are grinding. They're trying to get better every moment. And I got to be honest, I don't think Tua has ever grinded hard enough. Now, I'm going to call out Nick Hicks. Not calling him out in the extent like he's terrible, but Tua used to train with Nick Hicks. And there were some good things, but I would say equally amount of what training Tua got from going with Nick Hicks, and who does an incredible job, was also a lot of the media that went along with it. And that created this narrative of here's this grinder, here's this guy who cares. It's all about football with him. It told a story. Every lie ever told is a story too. That doesn't mean it's the right way. I'm not saying that they were lying. They were really doing work. And I'm sure Nick does incredible work and probably works with other athletes that have very good work as well. And there's specific things. But I don't think Tua ever got with a guy like Nick Hicks because he wanted to be a better football player. He got with him because he wanted that media machine along with that to sell this propaganda. That's what it is. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sure there was some physical and athletic benefits. Absolutely. You're not going to train with someone or not. But I'm saying Tua's intention wasn't to get better. It was to create the illusion of better. More excuses for why it's not on him. This offseason, he didn't train with Nick Hicks. He didn't do any fucking training at all. And it shows. This is a guy who didn't grind, who doesn't care. And why should he? Because all of the caring up to this point was for the bag, baby. Show me the money. And he got that. He's a success to the Tagovailoas. God bless him. Taking care of his family. Got generational wealth. I'm going to check it here in a second, Ms. Relentless. I got some more coming up.
The Dolphins that had the worst start
PFT.
under Mike McDaniel. What are you hearing about his future with the Dolphins?
Well, I'm told, Maria, that the plan from owner Stephen Ross was to give both Mike McDaniel and the general manager Chris Greer all of the season to see where things went. Now they're 1-6. They lose to the previously 1-5 Browns in blowout fashion. That timetable could change, and it could change quickly. Stephen Ross has owned the team since 2009. He's fired 4 coaches. 2 of them during the season. After the game, Mike McDaniel said he refuses to think about his job, but it's something that everyone is going to be thinking about, especially into tomorrow. One last note, whoever the coach is next year, Tua Tagovailoa has $54 million fully guaranteed, so that's going to have to be dealt with.
Yeah, and Tua right now, 1 touchdown, 6 interceptions over the last 6 games.
So, yeah, it's true. Kind of screwed when it comes to the cap situation. We'll touch more into that. But again, Mike McDaniel, by purview, is being blamed, and in some circles will continue to be looked at as the easier cut than the money lost with Tua. But I think Chris Greer and, most importantly, owner Stephen Ross have already learned this lesson a little bit, right? What lesson is that? What, are they going to bring another quarterback whisperer in here to fix this offense with this quarterback? You saw how much time, energy, and resources it took to do it last time. You going to do that again? No. Of course you're not. Of course they're not. Which leaves the window wide open for Mike McDaniel to potentially be here beyond the end of this season. Hit the like button, everybody. 200 watching on all platforms. Let's continue on. We got some more media stuff coming up here. Let's see. What was that other one? So this is the Dan Le Batard show. Actually, I'm gonna wait on that one. Let's go ahead and go to CBS. This is the night broadcast on CBS NFL.
Well, you also have to put a bullseye on the quarterback. I mean, let's be real. This is a quarterback who they gave a big contract extension to, thought he was their franchise, put up big numbers when they were the fun, wide open, fast offense, and now all of a sudden he can't make plays. And he threw a pick six, probably should have thrown a second pick six that was intercepted in return for point blank for points, setting up the Browns' easy score. So we all know Mike McDaniel's going. I mean, that's when it happens, how it happens, we don't know, but he's going. I assume Chris Greer is going as well. We don't know when, but he's going to go. What about Tua? Is the new staff, the new regime, the new GM, is he going to be sold on Tua? Have you seen anything from Tua right now that would make you believe he was their franchise quarterback, the way he's playing right now? And it hasn't been just this year either. There's also the injury concerns. There's also, you want to talk about it, and we called him out for it last week, the leadership issues, and he came out this week and apologized after saying what he did. I just don't think it's a very good situation. It starts at the top, it trickles down, and if I'm Stephen Ross, I'm looking at the entire thing and thinking, you know what? I should have a fire sale starting at the trade deadline. Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Zach Sealer, whatever I can get for him, you're going. And then we'll see what you go. If somebody offers me a first-round pick for Waddle, I'll trade him too. Because the reality is this team is going nowhere. There's going to be wholesale changes. They need to make changes. And you look at coach, quarterback, general manager, I think all of them are in question.
A lot said there. And it's hard to refute it. But he literally said all of these changes, all of this turnover, all these things, who's going to want to I ask you guys, chat. The Dolphins are probably going to start anywhere between 80 to 120 million negative in dead cap next year. You're going to have Tua either on this team or off this team, both of which hurt the team because if he's off, you're paying a bunch of money. If he's on, you're stuck with the son of a bitch on there dealing with whatever side fucking drama he's trying to pull in the locker room, because that's a fact. No one is trading for Tua. That is right, Octane. No one's trading him. Plus, like he just said, a fire sale on what is perceptively all of your talent. So who wants a head coaching job, people? No talent, no money, no quarterback. I mean, do you think just because we'll have the top pick that we'll get the best candidate? Is this candidate even good at coaching football? Is he good at picking quarterbacks? Are we going to trust? You're going to tell me that you want to trust someone who's not been in the building at all, that we don't even know who you're saying to take the job, to take our top pick and pick a quarterback? I'm not saying Mike McDaniel would pick him right, but it's the devil I know. Greer ain't getting fired. I don't give a shit what anybody says. He might not be the GM, but he ain't getting fired. He's not. It'd just be a different title in the collective. So with that, and we're in a collective, they're only going to hire another first-time head coach, probably a D coordinator, somebody who's more of a hard-nosed kind of guy. They're going to hire Brian Flores light. That's what they're going to do. They're going to hire Brian Flores light. They're going to pick a quarterback. They're going to stick a quarterback with a Brian Flores light. Fans 2 years later are going to go, what the fuck? This guy can't get the offense going. No shit, because he's a defensive guy. They're going to fire him, bring in somebody else, a quarterback whisperer, and round and fucking round we go. Round and round we go. Where we've wasted 2-3 years, whatever, of a young quarterback, top 5 draft pick to have no results and to, I don't know what to tell you people, dude. I really don't. What's up, Lucan? Hit the like button. I'm not saying I believe in Mike McDaniel. I don't know if he'll be better. I do know that if the Dolphins kept Mike McDaniel and didn't fire him and go to another first-time head coach, that would be the only different move Ross has ever made. That's it. You can also say, don't worry, CCR. I got them all. I got every clip. I'm playing them all. Don't worry. I'm playing every clip, everybody. As long as everyone hits the like button and subscribes, I will play all these clips. I got a bunch of them. I'm playing them all. If you guys want to tell me that you want to hire a coach who's been a head coach, okay, I'm game. Who are you thinking that this is? Who is it? Some guy on the couch?
Rex Ryan.
Rex Ryan. That's the name I've been hearing around. Also, John Gruden is a name I've heard. There's a couple of other people. I do want to tell you guys some facts, though.
Bill Belichick.
Never in the history of the NFL has a Super Bowl winning head coach left his team and then won a Super Bowl somewhere else. That's never happened. It's never happened. So if you think that Mike Tomlin becomes
Jimmy Johnson
available,
has entered the chat.
No, Jimmy Johnson did not win a Super Bowl as a head coach in
He
two
won
places.
a national championship, though.
I didn't say that, though. I didn't say that. There's plenty of national. That's happened.
We've also had plenty of coaches attend Super Bowls only to win it somewhere else. Andy Reid.
There's been a lot of coaches that lost a Super Bowl and then went to a different team and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Bruce
exactly.
Arians did it. Andy Reid did it.
John Fox.
John Fox fucking did it.
Didn't he do it? He went to the Super Bowl with Cam Newton, right?
That's right. I want to say, didn't Shanahan do it? Wasn't he a head coach of the Niners first and went to the Super Bowl and then went to which again, there's a lot of this happening.
I mean, yeah, so, you're right about that. It's just like the pool that we're looking at of head coaches that could really do it. I mean,
right?
I'm definitely not in favor of John Gruden, but at this point, fuck it.
But again, John Gruden's won a Super Bowl with a different team.
Yeah,
You're telling me John Gruden's going to come back as a head coach after all the shit that's happened and years removed and come back and take the Dolphins to a Super Bowl, something that's never been done by any other head coach ever. John Gruden's the guy that's going to break the mold and that's going to be doing it with the Dolphins.
All right, Tony Dungy.
I don't think so. With the Dolphins? Tony Dungy's another one. Again, there's so many coaches that have won Super Bowls that went somewhere else and then won a Super Bowl. You know what's crazy? I had this take and said that about Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is now with the Commanders as a head coach. If the trend will continue, Dan Quinn is going to win a Super Bowl in the next couple of years.
But hold up a second. Tony Dungy built a Super Bowl team in Tampa before he went to the Colts.
Obviously, I'm saying coaches that lost the Super Bowl with one team, then go to another team and win.
But he didn't go to the Super Bowl with the Bucs. They went the season after he left with John Gruden.
Didn't they go to the NFC Championship game and lose? Again,
all right, maybe the NFC Championship game, but he never went to the Super Bowl with
I don't know. I thought Tony Dungy lost the Super Bowl with the Bucs the year before Gruden was hired.
He lost with the Colts.
I don't know. Anyhow, whatever. Again, there's a trend with coaches who get to the championship games and Super Bowls and lose, then go somewhere else and win it. There's that trend. There is no trend where a coach won a Super Bowl somewhere and went and did it somewhere else. That's never happened. There's been plenty of coaches that have won Super Bowls somewhere and then left to head coach somewhere else, and it never pans out. It never does. So,
yeah, well, no team has ever won a Super Bowl on their home turf, and then it happened 2 years in a row.
well, that's true. That's true. But again, right, my point is that the Dolphins aren't so lucky to get lucky with a guy who's winning multiple Super Bowls as a head coach. It's just not happening. So a candidate, and I'm just going to say this now, a guy who got it right on his quarterback draft pick, which, helps when you have the number 1 overall draft pick, and a guy who's been to a Super Bowl and lost, and a guy who's probably going to get fired at the end of this year is Bill Lazor with the what's his name? God damn it! The fuck's his name, Ali, with the Cincinnati Bengals?
Zach Taylor, whatever his name is.
Zach Taylor. God, I said Bill Lazor, and I knew that wasn't it. Zach Taylor.
Bill Lazor was there. I don't know if
He was there. He was there. But all of them again. Zach Taylor. Just saying, and I don't think he's a great coach right now, but he's gone to a Super Bowl. He's done all this stuff. You could say it was all Burrow, but Zach Taylor literally just remember this conversation. Zach Taylor literally is the mold for a guy who goes somewhere else and wins a Super Bowl. And from what I'm looking at in the NFL as far as patterns go. All right, just getting on some stuff. Hit the like button, everybody. We got over 230 watching in all spaces. Let's continue on a little bit. This is Adam Schefter talking about, again, a lot of people questioning. Actually, let's play the second clip here.
If they don't fire Mike McDaniel, I think he should bench Tua and put in Quinn Ewers.
I was actually going to ask you that because
that to me is how that's to me how you show your players that Tua is no different than anybody else. If he doesn't perform, he gets benched because that's life as a player in the NFL for most people. But you're getting special treatment, as we've seen from Tua throughout the Mike McDaniel era since he took that FaceTime call and said, "I'm here for you." I think if he benched him and let Quinn Ewers go out there and play, I think it would send a message to that locker room.
Oof. And shout out to Danny Cannell, who's spitting facts. Right? This was said earlier. So, what up, Greg? Hit the like button, Greg, member and family member in the crib. I think he should too. Mike McDaniel has already come out in yesterday's presser saying that Tua is the starter, but there's some more to that as well. We'll get into it here after we go through a couple more of these clips because I got a bunch of them. So let's listen into this one here. This is, again, discussions about Mike McDaniel. People want Mike McDaniel fired, but as Adam Schefter completely reiterates, that's not happening.
The Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel met with reporters. A lot of people thought at this time of the day, today, Mike McDaniel no longer would be the head coach, but the front office, the ownership, is not planning any changes anytime soon regarding Mike McDaniel, who said today that Tua Tagovailoa continues to be his quarterback. So all the people in South Florida waiting for some kind of change, waiting for some kind of update. For the time being, it's status quo in Miami as the Dolphins begin preparations for their next game in Atlanta.
Nothing's happening. Okay. And people just keep wanting to talk about it. They want to blame Mike McDaniel as for a lot of reasons. Listening to NFL on ESPN, Randy Moss talk about where the blame should be.
The point of time where you tune the coach out. Players have to go play and make plays and win for the organization. And one thing about it, over the last year and a half, 2 years, do y'all know how much flack that Tyreek Hill was getting? He's a cancer. He wants out of Miami, all of this crazy stuff. And then you hear Tua, the quarterback, the man that they're paying all of this money. Leadership, we have a players only. Sorry, buddy, you're out of this one. Players only meeting, but they're not showing up. So what is that saying? If the quarterback's making all this money and we're looking at you, okay, there's going to come a time, let's start today. Shut up and play some football. You're third in the National Football League in interceptions. I'm talking about Tua. So when everybody is looking for a play to be made, we're looking at our quarterback. I remember a couple of years ago, we were just sitting up here when things were going bad with the concussions and stuff, and we were rallying for him for somebody to uplift him. Now everything has been hushed now. Now it's time to shut up and play some football. So today, going up against the Browns, a rookie quarterback, I expect Tua to eat those words that he was talking the last couple of days, coming out, apologizing, and then calling guys out. Put up or shut up today. I want to see it.
You know what's so wild is that this is pregame with Moss talking about it. Tua needs to put up or shut up, and he expects him to shut up because he's going to get shut up. Shit is just wild. Again, coach, whatever, he says quirky stuff, but people like him. And you know what he designs and how he plans it and how they practice it, it works. But come game time, the quarterback is failing them. No one can look at the film and say what you want. We don't break down film here. I watch it privately and stuff like that. YouTube pretty much prevents us from breaking it down. I do plan to potentially do a members only film sessions maybe in the future. But dude, just look at it, dude. It's check the film. It ain't Mike McDaniel's play design or play calls. So many, there is execution. Maybe this O lineman doesn't. Maybe the wide receiver runs the wrong route. Maybe the defense executes the play call very good. But that's why there's multiple options. I design, a rub route for Waddle, but it doesn't work. Because the guy doesn't bite the cheese. So you got to look to the other where Tua just doesn't do that. He's just like, oh, this play doesn't work. What do I do? That's what he does. Let's continue on because here's RG3 on the Dan Patrick Show. And again, it's just back and forth.
Bill Cowher said that it looked like the Dolphins players were disinterested. Ooh. Now, that's not saying you quit.
No,
but it's close.
Yeah, it's close.
Maybe it's semantics. It's a friendlier word. What does disinterested mean to you as a former player?
Oof.
It means that the Miami Dolphins need to blow it all up. Dan, they have to fire Mike McDaniel, and I do also believe they have to get rid of Tua Tagovailoa. And I'm a Tua guy. You asked me. This is many shows ago. Who would I take? Would I take Tua Tagovailoa or Justin Herbert? And I picked Tua because his ability to play before the defense and get the ball out in timing and rhythm and his aggressiveness. But he's thrown 10 interceptions this year, and he's thrown 3 interceptions in back-to-back games. And I do believe Tua himself has lost that locker room. We saw it last week when he came out and called out, the leadership in the building. That wasn't just players. That was leadership holistically.
Oof. That's the point I was waiting for. Not just calling out players, he called everybody out. Chris Greer's out here looking at quarterbacks. They're making it announced. It's not, it's all privy information. They're being public about Chris Greer's looking at quarterbacks coming out of the draft. Mike McDaniel making moves at the backup quarterback position, preparing for break glass in case of emergency. Again, look, say what you want. RG3, talent, super talented guy. But number one, his star burned so bright, so quick that, if he would have blinked, he would have missed it. And that's a shame because the kid had a lot of talent. But I'll tell you what, when RG3 was coming out into the NFL, I was like, yeah, the kid's great, but that shit ain't going to last long. And it didn't. This game is tough. But again, RG3 also just told you how little he does know. He picked him over Herbert for reasons that he says that are timing and aggressiveness. The fuck's that even mean?
Yeah, aggressiveness?
Aggressive.
The most unaggressive. But I wanted to say this earlier when you said that Tua was good in college. He was playing for the best head coach to ever live. A coach that went to not like a shit ton of championships, won with different teams, and Tua reminds me of Cardale Jones. Remember, he came in for Ohio State and won 3 championships in a row and then never was seen again. Now he plays for the XFL and he plays for the CFL. But he was kind of like
wait. Cardale Jones did not win 3 championships in a row.
Yes, he did for Ohio State.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He won the conference championship, and then he won the playoff, and then he won the national championship.
Okay, that's not 3 championships though. You can win the conference champion, but
the 3
playoffs
games he
won. But
in,
back then they won the very first playoff. But isn't that one national title then?
But no. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he kind of came in like Tua.
I do kind of agree. I do kind of agree to an extent. He did have a lot of good players around him. And that's what I meant earlier when I was saying that Tua may have been a good player because let's be real, he got on an Alabama team, which is made up of 5-star recruits, which he had to have been had he been a good player, right? So he may have been a good player in college. I'll give him that. But since then, he hasn't had everybody in the collective to help him, like you're saying. He hasn't had the star receivers. He hasn't had the 5-star recruit at every level position possible, right, to help him. And we're seeing that he can't carry teams on his back. And you said earlier. Hold on, real quick. I just want to get this off before I forget, El Cap. You said something earlier about how about he's pointing out players not helping him. Let's not forget. At the end of last season, he said, if you're not here to help me, then you don't need to be here. Right? It wasn't you're not here to help us. It was you're not here to help me, then you don't need to be here. That's some messed up shit. He told us all along who he really was.
That is a great point by you, Ali. And let's also call it for what it is. Tua is one of these kids that when he played Pop Warner ball, he was on the stacked football team. All the best players, in the league were on the same thing. When he played high school ball in Hawaii, he played on the best team. Stacked players at the academy school, beating up on the whole islands. Okay. When he went to the college ranks, he ended up on the best team, the team that had all 5-star athletes. That it was easy. You get into the NFL, everything's equal. That's where that train runs out. The hapless Jets are better than every team in college. I don't care what anyone says. You see it every time someone comes up and they get humbled by this league all the time. Everything's faster. Everything's quick. All the things stronger. All that stuff. We see it every year. My point is that fuck all that bullshit. Let's listen in
the entire building. And once it starts to creep out like that for a guy like Tua, who's always been very cognizant of what he says to the public, that to me means that it's going a lot worse than what we're even seeing. And now it's affecting his play to a level of, like Coach Cowher said, they're disinterested. They don't want to play. Mike McDaniel does not look like he's having fun, right? On the sidelines. Yeah. He's not skipping and jumping and wearing the cool glasses anymore. He's got like a hoodie on, like he's trying to hide from somebody. So I don't know what is particularly going on there, but I know they owe Tua 141 million still. But sometimes you just got to reshuffle the deck and just start all over.
I agree with half of what he's saying, but whatever. Let's get again the question of
Ross has stated that he's not making any changes.
That's right.
And that's all. Like, we haven't heard anything else besides that.
Not currently. No. Here's what he was referring to about Cowher.
The second half of that game, they looked almost disinterested. They looked deflated. They looked almost. There was nothing left in the tank, and they're almost disengaged. And I'm just talking the way I saw it. And Tua turned the ball over 4 times. The defense gave up some big plays. So it'll be interesting to see what happens down there. There's been a lot of talk.
Now, look, I'm not going to tell Bill Cowher he don't know what he's talking about because, let's face it, the man knows more about football than me and everybody I know.
Yeah.
But I do think Bill Cowher is guilty of inserting himself in this situation as a head coach in an era and all these things about his take on what he's seen on TV, that the players are disinterested. They're disinterested. And I bet you that if I said to Bill Cowher this, I agree with there were disinterest because they started the second half with a fumble and a pick six. That was their first. The team is disinterested now. They've got nothing. Now, you want to blame the coach on the fumble and the quarterback being sucky? I can accept that too. But to say that they're disinterested and that means they're disinterested in their coach, I would say in watching the game and the flow of the game, the disinterest was stolen from the team by the quarterback. And everybody knows it, including the coach who ended up benching the guy and bringing someone else in. So now in retrospect, you want to say that he's making him the starter, and you want to be mad at McDaniel for that because he has him as a starter this week. That's fine. But we're going to get onto that because we'll play a little bit of that
about
in a little bit.
The lack of structure that they have inside the building. But the bottom line, again, whether we don't know what's going on inside the building because we're not there.
Right.
But we see the product that's on the field. And right now, there's some issues in Miami.
Well, that's it, baby. I mean, that's that. He kind of says it the right way afterwards. So, this is the one by popular demand. This is
he's going to take a snap.
Talking about Mike McDaniel. Says, listen on
this week, and he's going to their start of the.
Oh wait, that was from today. Hold on, I want to wait on that one. Where's it at? Here we go.
I hate to say it. I've been riding for Tua as long as anybody on national television. Dolphins at least got to bench Tua if not find a way to part ways with Tua. And it's very simple why. If Tua's a cerebral quarterback and that is his strength, how can you keep throwing all these interceptions? You got 7 picks on the season and 8 touchdowns. You're not the runner that Josh Allen is or Lamar Jackson is. Hell, you're not the runner that Justin Fields is. What you are supposed to be is a brilliant savant of a quarterback, Tua. But all you're anticipating now is interceptions. I watched Tua throw a pass down the seam to a middle field safety defense. The one place you cannot throw a football versus a middle field safety defense is to the middle of the field. And Tua threw the ball right down the middle of the field versus a post safety.
Real quick, the play he's talking about is the one that the guy jumped the route on. He was there pre-snap. Wasn't like the safety was up in the box and then dropped out and they gave you an early look. No, he sat there the whole time. I'm sure you guys have seen the highlight. Let's let Emmanuel H.O. X2 is sexual continue.
Easy pick. Even McDaniel with sunglasses in the rain. That didn't make any sense, so that just bothered me too. Even McDaniel was scratching his head. So if you're a Dolphins fan at this point in time, if Tua doesn't have elite athletic ability, he's supposed to have elite cerebral ability, but he's not showing his elite cerebral ability. So what ability can we hang our hat on with the Miami Dolphins? What ability can we hang our hat on with Tua right now? There is none.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad everyone's finally catching up, and I get it now. Again, Emmanuel H.O. is 100% right, but I would say the reason you believed Tua had cerebral abilities, Emmanuel, is because Mike McDaniel schemed it to hide it. And Chris Grier gave tools to Mike McDaniel to scheme up with to hide it. And right now, they can't afford the tools. They've gotten injuries. And Mike McDaniel's like, I can't fucking scheme. What do you want me to do? I can't scheme up anymore for this chump. We can't afford it. He took all the money. That's the facts. That's the crux of the problem, people. That's where we're really hard up at. That's why this team is struggling. Because we can't afford to make our quarterback look competent. Middle of the road. We can't afford it. Hit the like button, everybody. Let's continue on because I got a couple of more things. This is ex-Miami Dolphins Richie Incognito talking about the current state of the Miami Dolphins. Listen in.
I hate this. I hate the whole situation they have brewing down there. Yeah. This is a dumpster fire, and you have McDaniel and Tua throwing bags of gasoline into the dumpster fire. We look at this guy on TV. I do not see a leader of men. When I'm going out there on Sunday and I want to rip someone's head off, I'm not getting fired up by this guy's pregame speech, right?
No pushback, Richie. Not getting fired up by Mike McDaniel at all. He doesn't inspire me to run towards the bullets or the fire. I can agree with that take. Let's let him continue.
Now let's go to Tua. Tua last week was talking about guys being late, and he's talking about leadership. Well, the leadership starts and ends with Tua because you're the franchise quarterback. Yep. Mm-hmm. Everybody was taking a side on, was he pointing fingers at the locker room? I think when he said leadership, he was pointing a finger right at Mike McDaniel.
Ooh, that's the truth. Now, I just want to hold him up right there. That's the truth. And we pointed it out when Tua said this. Now, I just want to point out, Tua points the finger of accountability and says leadership and blames Mike McDaniel. Just like an ex-NFL player who knows this locker room and this organization and Chris Grier and Mike McDaniels and everybody here, the owner, said exactly what happened. And how did the team respond to Tua calling out the coach? That's when the mutiny happens. It happened with Flores. Tua's out here pointing at him, talking about leadership. Flores like, shut up, you little bitch. Then the team's like, hey, man, you can't talk to him like that. And they kind of took his side. Enough of them to throw Flores to the walls. Well, Flores kind of ruined it himself. But Tua looking to weasel his way out of responsibilities and accountability again by kicking it upstairs and blaming another head coach. But how did the team respond this time? Did they get galvanized by Tua? Did they support him? Mike McDaniel isn't the Brian Flores. You can't call Mike McDaniel out publicly and he's going to come and blow up in the fucking locker room and cost him his job, Tua. That ain't happening. What Mike McDaniel's doing is handling Mike McDaniel way. Non-confrontational in that manner. And agreed, not a guy that inspires, or has a physical presence, makes all these, none of that.
Yeah, he lets the contents of his briefcase speak for him.
That's right. But guess what, Color? Guess what, gentlemen? The team didn't quit on Mike McDaniel because listen, I'm telling you right now, that team quits and gives up. It looks way worse than it did yesterday. When a team wants a coach fired, it's so undeniable. It's so all the media, the local media, and this is back in the day. Fuck, could you imagine the social media? These young players, like, yeah, fuck that. It would be so apparent that team is quit, given up, and wants him fired, and that's what the organization follows. That's not the case right now, guys. Could be in the future. It's not the case right now. If they're giving up, quitting, or angry at anyone, it's Tua. It's Tua. That's how that team played. Bill Cowher says, they came out of the second half, low energy and not. Yeah, because they know that the guy that they have at quarterback can't get it done. So what am I doing? What am I doing? Let's let Richie Incognito continue his synopsis. For a crazy, unhinged lunatic, Richie Incognito is very cerebral. Something RG3 needs to learn what that really means because he thought fucking Tua was cerebral. Fucking idiot.
Because when you have people constantly late in a professional sports organization, that shows fractures. That shows favoritism. Oh, you were 5 minutes late. It's all good. You go out there and play. That, to me, is the biggest fundamental flaw of this entire operation. McDaniel's going to roll with Tua. This offense was built for Tua. He's going down swinging with his guy. He's going to be fired imminently. I saw Mr. Ross put out a statement, and he said he's going to give Grier and McDaniel time to get this right. It's not working. And with Tua throwing up punts to the defense, it's definitely not working.
Well, look, again, it's hard to argue.
Oh, snap. What did he just say?
Tua throwing up punts to the defense.
Well, Richie, welcome to the Fins Tailgate. Glad you listened to the show, bro.
Listen, I wish we had the funds and media apparatus to hire a motherfucker like Richie Incognito. It would be the best.
In the meantime, he can just steal color takes. That'll work.
I think he's just like-minded, Color. I don't think he's taking your takes. But
you don't think he's like Florio?
No, I don't think he's like Florio. I think Rich Incognito is just a football guy, and that's why our takes sound an awful lot like his. I will say this, Richie pretty much said everything, and it's hard to push back on his final thought of it's imminent that they fire Mike McDaniel. Because, look, a bad record, the Dolphins are officially eliminated, and
and you ain't gonna even beat Louisville throwing up punts to the defense.
So if the Dolphins end up fire sailing a lot of talent, that also you think, they're gonna fire Mike McDaniel. No, they just got rid of all this talent. They're not gonna hold him accountable for less talent on a losing team before when they had it. That buys him grace. It buys him time. So we'll see.
What percentage of the team is actually his construction, bro?
Oh, well, at this point, it's all his. I don't want to get into those semantics. I don't want to get in those semantics. That's a little bit long-winded of a discussion at this point. But let's continue on with Richie Incognito.
If I just look at the Miami Dolphins, I love playing there. I love Mr. Ross. He was very, very good to us. But what I see is Mr. Ross as an absentee owner. He's busy building billion-dollar companies and developing, right? And if you look at Miami Dolphins' issues the last, call it 10, 15 years, it's him trusting the wrong guys. Him trusting basically to come over and hand the keys to the organization and let them run the show without any oversight, without any pressure. And now we're in a situation where we have Chris Grier, and he's bringing in guys that don't fit the mold. These guys aren't tough. They're not physical. Then you have that as a leader, as a head coach. And this is what you get. You get them dead in the water 7 games into the season, and there's no one saving them. They got to clean.
Oh, my God.
Is he talking about his experience in Miami, or?
Well, he's
talking about right now. I'm confused because.
Well, let's remember, Color, that wasn't his experience in Miami till they ousted him with the bullying gate thing. His experience up to that point was tough. They were chummy with the guys.
And also with Ross being the absentee owner, like on one token, he says, "I loved playing in Miami. I love Mr. Ross. He did a lot for us and all that, but he didn't stand up for me. He didn't go to bat for me. He didn't, you know what I mean? Like, so in other words, Ross was in his mind probably aloof to what was really going on. And had he known what was really going on, he may have chosen to stand by Richie Incognito. But because he's an absentee owner, he just sided with management and got Richie out of there.
Is he an absentee owner though?
Yes.
Let's actually think about it though. Let's think about it though.
He is.
He's an absentee owner. Why does he stepping in the way of decisions we make?
Well, look, that's again. We only got 30 minutes left, and that's something else
for another time. But I do want to hold the right to question it though.
Put a pin in that because that's another big discussion I would love to have. Write that down. Definitely. Write that down because I want to talk about that. I like that. Color, write that other one down too because these are discussions we gotta have, guys. Let's move on to the next thing because again,
I hate to say it. I've been riding for Tua as long as.
Sorry. Let's get, where is it? Where the hell is it? I just had the damn thing. There it is. Here's what the Dan Le Batard show was talking about with Tua. Because here's Miami guys a little bit closer to how the fans feel than the mainstream media. They can know what they want. I mean, after listening to, some athletes here, some head coaches there, I would say Antonio Pierce got the right fucking energy, 1,000%. Richie Incognito got the right energy, 1,000%. And the other guys, sound like two asexuals that are walking back shit and still want to blame McDaniel.
Don't forget Uncle Shay.
Well, I didn't.
He's ripping into Tua for the past week, man.
I know. I don't have those ones up here, Color. If you could DM me those, that would be great. But let's listen to the Dan Le Batard show.
This week, Tua had an all-time loser week.
Yes.
From the end of last game with that post-game press conference where he talks about leadership needs to be better and pointing the fingers at other guys, and then he comes out and has the game he had, fumbles, pick sixes, interceptions in the end zone, getting benched. It was an all-time loser week.
So let's stay here with the Tua conversation because I think we now know Greer, McDaniel, they're not going to be part of this franchise going forward. So let's
see. Is that what we know?
I don't think we quit.
I know they go.
All that's doing is sealing our fate, bro.
They say Tua sucks and Tua's definitely not it. So that automatically makes the quarter.
That's
the
because
coach
you know what.
And that's what they've seen.
Yeah, but the reason they keep talking about McDaniel that way is because if McDaniel isn't a problem, then they have a really bad football eye for the last 5 years, and they would have to own up to that.
Yes, it's them believing their delusions that not only is Tua not good and regressed, but McDaniel sucks too. That's why we're so confused.
Well,
right
it's something that LaShawn McCoy has said to Acho. No, he's never been cerebral. Where even Acho got that from is part to do with the fact that from 2020 to now, or up until last year, you want to write a book about this this era in America, this time period from 2020 to 2025, you could call the book the Gaslight Manifesto. Everybody was doing it. Politicians, government, media, sports media, everybody was doing it. And Acho not only took part in it, but was probably a victim of it as well. So he's under this impression that this whole time that Tua, he fifth overall pick. He's got to be good. I mean, I'm going to just go with the flow and be a Tua sexual. And, now he actually cannot stand by what he's seeing on the field, bro. You'd have to be a complete idiot. And you'd have to be have no football credibility whatsoever to be continuing to stand behind this quarterback.
Let's continue.
And so now, knowing that, how do we know anything about McDaniel?
Yeah.
How does Ross know anything about McDaniel? This is what I meant by how much of this team, Cap, really is McDaniel's. How much of it was foisted upon? How much of it was foisted upon him because of not only taking the job for Tua, but having to construct a team that will make Tua, that will hide all the warts. You know what I mean? The warts that Acho apparently wasn't aware of. But Shady was aware of them. Shady flat out cut him off. Was like, no, he'd never been cerebral. Where'd you even get that from?
Color, send me that clip. Let's continue.
I thought it was in the one you were playing.
No, pretty sure that's the end of that one. There's other ones, but let's continue.
About them. You're paying the quarterback a lot of money. He has to figure in the plan somehow, some way, even if those plans are how do we get out from under this contract. But now I think the sample is growing to a point where you realize the answer that we thought he would be, it's not the right answer. Tua's not
they
the guy.
thought he would be.
And I would say that as bad as his week was under center, this guy over the last 10 days has had a disastrous week, a disastrous time behind the microphone. I have never seen a quarterback throw himself under the bus the way that Tua did. Not only in this clip is he going to highlight how bad his approach is to the game on the field, but he readily admits that he's not being a pro off the field.
Yeah. Again, very good points made. I thought, when you look at the totality of the last 2 weeks, which also is all parts of my consensus of what's going on with this team. That Mike McDaniel getting a little bit more candid. Mike McDaniel, not feeling beholden to Tua in the way that he has been, standing up for him, and B, helping him get paid and all that stuff. So it's really just after last year, Mike McDaniel felt, I got to imagine he felt like he was caught holding the bag, took the brunt of all the blame, put all his eggs in the Tua basket, and Tua let him down. This year, yeah, they didn't like bring in an option better, but I don't think Mike McDaniel was co-signing Tua. I think he's like, listen, we got to do this, that, da, 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 da. My point is that distance is created. Mike McDaniel, just like Tua, going over people's heads to get people in trouble, just like Mike McDaniel went over everyone's heads to get to the owner. Mike McDaniel's now using that same avenue to get to the owner and everyone else and say, this fucking kid sucks.
Yeah, and it seems like McDaniel's been gathering guys this whole time, and Tua just started.
Yep. Well, Tua thought he had everyone, including Mike McDaniel.
Exactly.
Tua never thought in a million years that Mike McDaniel would be the one to sideswipe him, up until the other day when Mike McDaniel gets sideswiped by Tua, and Tua looks around and goes, yeah, you see that, guys? Wait a minute. They're all standing on Mike McDaniel's side. Let's listen in. This is the clip you're talking about.
Again, we're talking about a case of the emperor has no clothes. That's what it is. And Tua realized he's naked.
Here's the clip of LaShawn McCoy, because here's the clip you're talking about. Mike McDaniel came out yesterday in the media and had this to say about, just listen in.
Yeah, he's going to take the snaps this week, and he's going to be our starter this week. And my expectation is that we don't throw 10 picks.
We don't throw 10 picks. He didn't mean it jokingly. There wasn't a laugh afterwards. He didn't giggle afterwards. There wasn't a joke. That was straight up nuclear freaking warhead launched on Tua. Yeah, he's going to be able to get the start and get the snaps, and I expect not to get 10 picks. Meaning, this boy, Tua ain't on a short leash. Mike McDaniel got him by the collar right now.
Yeah. And he's not going anywhere either. He's running him all the way down. You know why? You think about it. What did he say? If it wasn't a joke, then he was saying, hopefully he won't throw 10 picks. Well, Tua's thrown 10 picks in how many games?
Hey,
what McDaniel's saying there is he's going to be the quarterback indefinitely, and hopefully he doesn't rack up 10 more.
Color, I do agree that he is the emperor with no clothes. However, there is one thing for sure that he still wears. Depends. Make sure you get your Depends by Tua.
Will the Miami Dolphins win or lose?
He's the one guy in the crowd. Look, he's got Depends on. Can't anybody see it?
Listen, whether he wins or lose, it will always depend. Tua Depends. For sale at tftgnetwork.com. Make sure you pick up your Tua Depends for your trans athlete near you. That's right. I said it. Fuck y'all. Let's continue in.
Dang. What
he think
are
that's
we doing?
But see, that's what I'm saying. This is why he can't be a real head coach. I can't even take him serious. Like you represent the team. You represent the players. You represent the whole franchise. You can't give an interview like that.
Yeah.
Because he's like half joking. Yeah, let's hope, give me some snaps. Hopefully don't throw 10 picks. Like, what? You think that's funny?
Yeah.
I remember his first interview. First of all, Mike McDaniel, I heard so much good things about him, right? I heard he's super smart. Every player, every coach says it about him. So his first interview with Miami, I can't wait to hear what he says.
Yeah.
I was not blown away. I said, yo, is he serious? It's like he was like pranking the people. So I can't take him serious. That's all I'm saying.
Back and forth.
Pranking people is right. And Shady, I would just say the prank, you might have it off a little bit. This goes back to what I just said. The prank is, and he's going to be our quarterback going forward. Quit asking. Hopefully he won't rack up 10 more interceptions. Because we know he ain't going to get 10 in one game.
We don't know that.
McDaniel knows that. So even if it was a joke, it's not even a funny joke. Because you can't get 10 in one game. So what the prank is, Tua's starting this week, and he's starting next week too, and the week after that. And hopefully he don't throw 10 more picks.
Can a person just say something sarcastic? Is that allowed anymore? Because to be honest, even if it doesn't matter if he was joking or not, he said it in a form of sarcasm. I don't understand why. It's not like he's the first head coach to do this.
Right.
And, that's why I don't disagree with I don't agree with part of his take. Right.
The sarcasm is what I'm referring to, Ali. The sarcasm of, he's starting this week and he's starting every other week too. Get over it.
Yeah. And to also, this could also feed into what El Cap was talking about, or I think maybe you brought it up, caller, in regards that, is this really McDaniel's doing everything? You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. A lot of people want to blame McDaniel, but can you blame McDaniel that is doing what the owner and collective wanted? They came in and said,
just that.
We'll give you a job, but this is how we want you to do it. We want you to do it with this guy, these types of players, this budget, and this is what we want out of it, right? And he's delivering that to them, right? So this is why I asked you earlier, is Ross really an absentee owner or not? You understand?
No, he's certainly not an absentee owner when it comes to the business side of things. He's very much involved. What I think people are saying is that, like, the operations, the business is running well, and it's all working out. The wins and losses and successes on the football field, not so much overall. And Ross can't do shit about that. Again, and he's not. But let me get this. Hold on, where was it?
Real quick, LCAP, before you do that, the last thing I'll say on this real quick is that I kind of feel like it with him saying a comment like that, it's like, yep, the bosses won't let me make any changes. This is what they want, and I got to do it. You understand what I'm saying?
Ali, I'm kind of going with you on that, because think about like how this is all played out with Flores and McDaniel and Tua. Like, Ross is basically has said, okay, the asshole told me Tua sucks, but I can't really be sure because that's an asshole. Now the pushover is telling me Tua sucks.
Yeah.
So Ross is basically saying, like, he's looking at it like a voter. Like, hey, if the extreme right wing is telling me one thing and the extreme left wing is telling me the same thing, you'd be pretty sure it's the truth.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Really, what I was really getting at is the fact that if you think about the stuff that Ian Rappaport reported, Adam Schefter reported in regards to why the Miami Dolphins haven't made a move, and what the original plan was is let it play out and see what happens, right? That is all being orchestrated and
in real time,
directed by the upper management. That's why I'm thinking that maybe he's forced not to put in Ewers or maybe the backup QBs and hasn't benched Tua yet.
Yeah, Ross is the collective, Ali. So that's basically he set up the collective basically so that the collective does what he wants to do.
Exactly.
He would be like a I don't want to say it this way because it's not in a negative connotation, but like a commie dictator. Like, you got communism, everybody's equal except the guy in charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so the whole collective is working towards our fearless leader. You know what I mean? And what he wants to do. So the only accountability is with Stephen Ross.
Yep. You can go ahead, LCAP. I'm sorry, man. I just wanted to point
that out.
Well,
there was just... No, you're good. Appreciate you, boys. Look, here's the question. When we talk about the Mike McDaniel Tua marriage, it is completely over. Whether it was a joke or not, that is he said that, and he knew he was going to say it before he came out there. That was the first question asked of Mike McDaniel. He knew they were going to ask about Tua, and that's what he said. Oh, hopefully he doesn't throw 10 picks. There was some meanness meant in there, some truth, a little bit of joking, but not so much. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff. Here's the deal. Tua Tagovailoa is costing this team
He
money.
was mocking the fans, dude.
He was mocking a lot of shit, Color. And Mike McDaniel, for people who don't pay attention as well as we have, I've figured the guy out, and that's his humor, and sometimes it's funny, but only if you're personally whatever. Fuck him. Anyhow, Tua Tagovailoa is on the books for $55 million or $54 million guaranteed next year, 37 the following year, and 49.4 million the year after that. The Dolphins can elect to save themselves a little bit of money next year and more money and beyond. And this means if they do not accept the 2026 bonus, they will get $11 million. They'll lose $11 million in cap in 2026, and they will gain back 27 or 21 million in 2027. This is per Spotrac. All of these releases, he'll have to get a $54 million cash payout, but they can spread that out over the next 3 years, meaning that if they don't pay him the bonus, they're going to save, quite a bit of more money.
Yep,
So there
and
is
all that money goes right into Stephen Ross's pocket.
Shout out to Night Wolf. If you ask me, I disagree with Shady, although I'm not a big McDaniel guy, but that was the first time McDaniel had some balls. That's what I'm saying, Night Wolf. I think he says, oh, it's dumb, it's stupid, it's whatever, but I mean, it par for the course at this point. It wasn't like he let the cat out of the bag. What do you want to do? Stand up there straight-laced all the time about this shit? Right now, I like the cerebral spitfire coming from McDaniel about Tua, and I also like him just blatantly calling him out.
Well, Cap, I think you're starting to pinpoint why Stephen Ross likes McDaniel.
Mm-hmm.
Because
speak the same language.
What McDaniel is doing is the same thing Flores did, except McDaniel is doing it the way Ross wants him to do. Look, you held your tongue for 3 seasons now. And now the guy's going to throw you under the bus after you were literally brought here to prop him up and make him the left arm of God. And you've gone to bat for him for 3 straight seasons. You're kissing him on the head, on the field, all of that. And he says what he said last week. So the gloves are off. Now it's like McDaniel, there is nobody in that understands anything about philosophy that would think that McDaniel is not in the right here. Like, he has the absolute license to say whatever he wants right now. And because of the way he's conducted himself in Ross's eyes, Ross is going to believe every word out of Mike McDaniel's mouth. That's the tact. That's the cerebral. That's the, okay, let it roll. Turn the other cheek. That's all right. This is the guy. This is the guy. And now he's not the guy.
Again, a lot of interesting points. I agree with you, Color. I think Mike McDaniel is safe all the way up until the team and coaching staff has a mutiny. I will stand on that point, and if I see it and I hear it, I'll point it out then. But
there's only one man that can throw Mike McDaniel under the bus, and that's Chris Greer.
Mike McDaniel could throw himself under the bus too, but he won't. You're right. But
what I mean is what you just said. Like, as long as he's got the staff, the collective backing him, Tua has no.
There's also this thing right now too, where Mike McDaniel stands in between Greer and accountability. And Mike McDaniel's taken these slings and arrows because it's not fire Mike McDaniel. It's not fire Chris Grier. It's fire Grier and McDaniel. Now, do you think Ross wants to fire Grier and McDaniel? Y'all lump them in together. These two is sexuals.
And
start of the offseason started with fire Grier and McDaniel because they want you to keep Tua.
Right.
That's what it's always been about.
And from their
the owner's going to choose quarterback over everybody now? Yeah.
Right. And from their standpoint, they have done everything Ross has asked them to do.
They've done everything for Tua. Nobody has been given so much in
they propped up a loser and made Ross a bunch of money doing it.
Absolutely.
You know,
and listen,
like they've done everything they wants them to do. They've been nice about it. They brought a happy-go-lucky attitude to the building, which is another thing he wanted.
There ain't no Pulley Gate shit happening.
Chris Grier has built and solidified the conveyor system that is the West Coast offense. Another thing Ross wanted. They've done everything he's asked. Why does anybody think their jobs are in danger?
But Color, here's the thing
a player, they can't do nothing but throw interceptions.
The entire NFL sports world is trolling Tua, saying he's the worst quarterback in the NFL. Well, what does that mean about Mike McDaniel?
Exactly.
He's been dealing with the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Exactly. How can they in the same breath say any of this is on Mike McDaniel? It could be. How can they know? This is what I've been saying all along, Cap. How can we know?
And also, Color, when it comes to Mike McDaniel and this collective and everything else, if Tua was such a great quarterback and now is failing, and Mike McDaniel and him have now obviously come to an impasse in their relationship, Tua did exactly what he did last time the impasse happened. He threw him under the bus. But it's not just Mike McDaniel he's throwing
over under the bus. This time he threw somebody under the bus that Ross trusts is not the problem.
Well, but no, here's the thing, Color.
I mean, talking about personality-wise, not the problem.
That throwing McDaniel under the bus drags Chris Grier in tow. We just said that. Grier, McDaniel, tied by the hip. That's what the fans have. It's Grier McDaniel on one side versus Tua on the other.
Like
now, hold on, Color, because I'm going to lose my fucking train of thought. Grier, for everything you want to say about Grier's failures and all the years I've watched, I've never seen the Dolphins so greatly actually build around a quarterback the way that they did. They fired one coach, brought in a hand-picked, perfect buddy, best friend. They bought a best friend for him. Okay, and put him in there and did all that, and then they went and bought him a bevy of weapons and built everything around. This Chris Grier proved that if you got a quarterback, he can build the team around him, and got the guy that can do it. And you know what? They just did it around the wrong guy. Now, what's also Tua is proving in his attitude to Chris Grier, to fucking Mike McDaniel, is that he has no loyalties to anyone. All of this shit we've done, given grace, benefit, all that stuff, and then you spit in our faces. Because
that's what I meant earlier.
This guy's a little fuck, dude.
Right, and it turns out, this is what I meant earlier, Cap. It turns out it wasn't the asshole's fault.
No.
Because now the pushover is saying the same thing.
Everyone's saying the same thing.
He throws the asshole under the bus and says, oh, yeah, he was an asshole. That's not going to work.
Here's the thing,
he's throwing the pushover under the bus saying, you know what, leadership just ain't strong enough.
But here's the thing, Color, and this is how we'll round to the end. Here's how we'll round to the end of the program.
Leadership tried to be leadership, and you kicked them out the building, Tua.
If Mike McDaniel and Grier got to go, it's not to keep Tua. Grier proved that he can fire a coach, hire a coach, and fix a broken product and build a team around a quarterback and make it successful.
In the middle of a Super Bowl window.
It was the wrong guy. That's fine. I just don't understand how, if they got a chance to get another guy or the right guy, they couldn't do it again. That's all.
Chris Grier built a roster, Cap, that literally
it's the best roster I ever seen.
Well, check this out.
In Miami.
Think of it this way. He built a roster that was good enough on paper to convince 3/4 of the fan base that we were still in a Super Bowl window, having just hired a brand new coach.
Again, Color, all of these people that are going at Mike McDaniel right now, they forget
they wanted him.
It's not just them. I'm talking about the mainstream media and like all the big guys that are saying, "Oh, you got to fire him," because that's just what it is, right?
Well,
they're also the same ones. That's right. They're being lazy. They're also the same ones saying, Tua is the worst quarterback. He's terrible. He's all of these things. Well, Mike McDaniel got all of you to believe Tua has fallen off of a cliff, when the reality was Tua had no business being an NFL starting quarterback. And Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer made Tua into what he is. It's so, I don't understand it. I really don't understand how they can't see that.
Because, bro, it's the personality. And I don't even know.
No, I think Color. I think it's.
No, but I'm talking about of Tua, because I don't even understand why everybody, if you notice in all these rants we've heard this week from the national media, every one of them started off by saying, I like Tua. I really like the guy. He's a good guy. No, he's not.
He's not. He's a bad guy. He's a guy that goes behind his superiors' backs. He stabs his best friends in the back. He'll hang anyone out to dry, no matter how much water they've carried for him.
We fired a guy because he treated our quarterback equally as any other player. And now that same player is saying that leadership is not tight enough.
Disgraceful.
I mean, look, so what you're saying is bitch at everybody but me.
Well, that's how it's
yell and scream and be a football coach to everybody but me.
Yeah, because I'm perfect. This fucking kid thinks he's perfect, dude. It's bullshit.
I don't know what he thinks he did to deserve these accolades, bro.
I'm sorry. This is psychology 101. He's not narcissist, right?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Totally.
Narcissism.
Borderline solipsism, bro. We're not even talking. We're talking about he functions in his own universe, dude.
Again, that I would say he's not a solipsist or a narcissist, but he lives his life in a perfect solipsis type of world. He says so. I don't watch TV. I don't do social media. It's football, family, and church, and I enclose myself in that little window. Well, if you're only around your friends and family, they're never going to hurt you. I'm not going to tell you honestly. And when you go to your work and your superiors, they're not trying to set you up for failure. But once you're failing at your job and people are being critical of you, you've never had to deal with that. You're not dealing with it.
And stop thinking everybody in the world that's not your family is here to hurt you.
He sounds like a drug addict saying that the world is wrong and needs to change when really you're just wrong in the world. It sounds like some of these people who have these overwhelming problems that they blame and point the finger and blame everyone for all of their problems.
It's
when
more like if you're not as righteous as I am, then I can't trust that my best interests are in your
excuses. But all right, guys.
In other words, you have to be trying to work against me because you're not as righteous as I am.
I don't know. Hit the like button, everybody. We're closing it up. There should be Papa Paul will be on tomorrow with the West Coast Dolphin Fans Club. Maybe I'll go on late afterwards. Ali, we'll talk about that tomorrow if you want. Put that pin color. Let's open it up tomorrow. Tua should be talking tomorrow, so we'll get to hear from him, and we'll play that and see what he says in that whole situation. And we'll be on tomorrow, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribing if you're new. Wherever you guys watching the program, come over here to YouTube, become a member, join the Fins Tailgate Army. See y'all next time. Fins up.